Hello and welcome to another episode of the One More Glass of Wine podcast, our exciting podcast where we're learning from industry professionals, amazing, experienced people, a part of our wine industry, the South African culture, and everything that has to do with South African wine. And today we are joined by Sheldon van Wyk. Sheldon was given the brilliant achievement of Tim Atkin's Viticulturist of the Year last year, so it's a wonderful achievement for you to have. He works closely with the Old Vine Project as well. He's a contractor when it comes to viticulture. You've worked in many vineyards, and thank you for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you, Jeremy, and thanks for having me here.
No, man, thank you for joining us. I'm just going to let our listeners know that English is not your first language, so I'm incredibly proud of you for speaking English and for speaking with us. Again, if there's anything that you need to say in Afrikaans, that's super cool. We'll work it out. Maybe teach our listeners, our audience, a little bit of Afrikaans along the way. How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a good plan. Fantastic, yeah. So please tell us a little bit about yourself, Sheldon.
Jeremy, I grew up in a Franschhoek area where we stayed on a farm in Franschhoek area. My dad was a foreman, or like I say, a supervisor way back on one of the farms. And I think that's where I learned quite a lot of my viticultural skills. And you know what, if you stay on a farm, always when it comes to holidays, you had to go work and to make extra money and pocket money. So you always go and help out where you can. So that's what I did in my...
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So you grew up, you've been ingrained in a part of the wine industry for quite some time now.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. So, yeah.
Brilliant. I'm sure growing up on a farm also stood you in really good stead for learning and being a part of the industry that you are today. So I'm sure that was amazing. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the Old Vine Project. Please tell us, what's the goal of the Old Vine Project, the vision? What's the project's purpose?
Oh, Jeremy, you know what? Old wines make such incredible wine. And I think if you taste old wine and just a young vine, and I think wines from older vines, if you taste it, you can immediately taste the difference in it.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm actually privileged to be part of the Old Vine Project. And way back when Andre and Rissa approached me to join the Old Vine Project, I was wow, I'm gonna go for it. Yeah,
what an opportunity.
Yeah. I think, like you say, it's actually a huge opportunity, and that stuff that it's not always coming your way. So yeah, I grab it.
Brilliant.
So, yeah,
brilliant. And you know what I love about the Old Vine Project is its standpoint on quality. You know, like you said, when you taste a younger wine versus an older wine, you're instantly going to notice the difference. So I think that's amazing. It's such a good goal and a vision for that organization to have. So that's amazing. Yeah. So fitting in with the Old Vine Project and having a bit of a standpoint on that, I had to pop open a bottle of our Old Vine Project Chenin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this vineyard was planted back in 1966. So definitely a part of the project. What a vine has to be is 35 years old to be a part of the project. And
yeah, it must be older than 30,
older
35,
than 35, yeah. So this is definitely a part of it. I think it's like 56, 57. We'll forgive my maths, depending on what year you're listening to this. This vineyard's nice and old, and I mean we've had this wine on the podcast before. It is a crowd favorite, and Chenin blanc is pretty much a South African staple. So please join me in having a sip. Thank you for joining us on the podcast. That was all started.
Thank you.
Yeah. So whenever I taste this wine, I'm always blown away by the quality of that older vineyard that we're working towards and that we're working with. I know earlier you said you're working in the vineyards and you don't know wine necessarily, but we all have palates. Tell me, what do you think? Does it taste? There's a good quality wine.
I think for me, it's very nice. I like an easy drinking wine, and this is definitely suits my palate, I think.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I'm glad I could pick a good wine for the podcast. Amazing stuff. Okay, Sheldon, tell us, winning this Viticulturist of the Year from Tim Atkin, that's brilliant. How'd that feel to get that award?
Jeremy, I think for me, I didn't expect anything. I mean, that's really not my aim to, like you say in Afrikaans, you say to vang and shine, or to be in the limelight.
For sure.
So that's never been one of my aims or my goals. My aim was always to, I mean, I work with a lot of producers, and my aim is always to give them the best quality grapes at the end of the season to make good wines, and I think that was the goal. And when Richard asked me to come with her to Cape Town, I thought, what the hell? So she just told me, just dress you up nicely and we're going to Cape Town. And when he got there, he said, wow. And
so it was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it was a surprise because I didn't expect it.
That's brilliant.
But I think it was a huge achievement for me, not only for me, but I think also for the guys that work with me. I mean, some of them are with me for almost 25 years, and it's a long time. And I think, we've done quite well to get achievement like this, to achieve something like this. I think it's huge.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I mean, Tim Atkin, a guy who is acquainted with international wines, and he works with some European spots. I know he does some wineries in Chile and the South African industry. To get that award, I'm incredibly impressed with you, Sheldon. That's brilliant. That's a testament to your hard work and dedication.
Thank you, Jane.
So your work in the past, I mean, you don't get to where you are today without a little bit of experience. So where have you worked in the past?
Yeah, Jeremy, I've worked quite a lot of farms.
Yeah.
Yeah, but mostly Franschhoek. I've started there. When I started on all the Rupert's farms in Franschhoek area. Okay. And I end up at Lomera, where I've been like in 20 years, or just over 20 years, 21 years I've been there, and
Okay.
And also I did the other farm in Rupert and Rothschild. I mean, and that's where I think I learned quite a lot of my skills, and that's basically where I met Rissa.
Okay, brilliant.
And she kind of pulled me in there. Yeah.
Okay.
But but also I've worked in the past. I've worked with Ibn Sadi. I mean,
one of the brilliant name.
One of the big guys in the industry, and I mean, I've did a few jobs for him as well, and Molyneux, and Chris Molyneux, and but. Lately, I'm busy in Tilbach, Twee Jonge Gesellen, and I don't know if I'm allowed to mention any brands or
no. Oh no, you definitely, no, please,
But like I said, basically, I'm doing now that farms and Boekenis Kloof, Mark Kent.
Some brilliant wineries that you're working with. That's amazing.
I think I'm very privileged to work with guys like that.
Okay, wow.
So well-established brands and guys that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. So, that's wonderful. And you said you work in Tilbach, so you really split quite all over the show. Hey?
Yeah, I'm traveling quite a lot. Yeah, if you look at the mileage on my car. But that's part of my game, and it's
those are some amazing names to work with. And Ibn Sadi, I know they work with a lot of older vineyards as well, so that's very cool.
Yeah, you know what? Way back, I did a job for Ibn. I was still a rookie, man, and he was doing this vineyard in Stellenbosch, old vines, and I thought, why is he asking me to do it? I don't know, but I mean,
and a rookie in the game.
But I mean, if you just think back, and I mean the confidence and the trust that he sees in me, I think that also means a lot to me.
Yeah. So. Hey, congratulations, Sheldon. That's amazing. Yeah. Okay. So working at these farms. You're obviously learning, like you've just said, you've learned so much from working with Ibn Sadi all the way from your younger days and everything like that. The experience is amazing. Is there things that you are bringing with you from those previous vineyards into your today's techniques that you're not consulting, what is it, contracting
Yeah.
in?
You know what? When I started way back, like I say, it was all about like an basic viticulture. And when I met Rosa I think that was about almost 20 years ago at Lomera, I think then there was a kind of a game changer, or then because she was very specific and everything was like an attention to detail. So I think that's where I learned also quite a lot. I learned a lot from her.
Oh, that's amazing.
I think all credit, with this achievement, I think all the credit goes actually to her, because if it wasn't for, I think I would still have the same skills that I've got. So yeah,
amazing. It was not for your hard work as well. Hey, your hard work paid off. That's brilliant. Yeah. No, very cool.
Yeah, but we try. So yeah.
No, that's cool. So, and then your speciality at the moment, what would you say you're specializing in the viticultural sense?
Jeremy, for me, I like to prune.
Okay.
Pruning is very important for me, because pruning is like when you start the new season, you know exactly where you're heading, the crop of what you're gonna take off. So it's basically a starting point. So and if you start pruning nicely and you do your suckering and all your stuff perfectly, then you know exactly, okay, I'm gonna end up nicely, or I'm gonna have a good quality grape at the end of the season. So that's basically...
That's amazing.
Yeah. And the other thing that I do like is young vineyard development.
Okay.
See, to get it started or planting to the end where you start getting a crop of it. I think that satisfaction that you've got if you started well. If you see the end product, I think that's also something that I like.
That's amazing. Okay, so I love how you say it's about how you start and it's where you go. So
because like I said, it's like growing a baby. And you nurture it until you get there to the point where it's okay, you're an adult now, so then you can
give
it over.
Release it into the world.
Exactly.
That's brilliant. Pruning it's so important, and I mean we're now in almost in July, and the pruning season, has it started already, or we still have some time to go?
We normally start it around about July. Some guys with bigger hectares or big farms normally started early, around about end of May. But my stuff, I've got a certain amount of hectares, and I do all my planning. So for me, it's best to start around about July.
Okay.
That's almost for me, it's like the sweet spot for pruning. Yeah.
Okay, and it's the start of the season as well, all the way in July.
Yeah, most of the people would say, okay, but in the winter, everything is nothing happening. So because they only see the grapes at the end, and they say, okay, now it's your busy time. But eventually, it started way back, like in winter already. So
for sure. Yeah, you guys, your viticulturists don't sleep. Your work hours are long, and it's year round.
And especially now in the cold in the morning. Yeah, sure. I feel for the guys out there.
No, I can myself too. I'd wear 2-3 pairs of socks. Okay, and tell us, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned in your lifetime in viticulture and in your personal life?
I think for me, it's if you go out there and you see how things go wrong. I think that's not on for me, because I don't like it.
Yes.
And like I say, some guys just don't plan, or they can't plan. And for me, planning is very, very important in viticulture, or in any business.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Not only in viticulture, but for me, I think planning is vital. If you can't plan, then you're like unscrewed.
Yeah.
It's almost like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't know where you're going, and you don't know where you're going to start.
Exactly.
That's a brilliant life lesson to know.
So
actually.
in farming, I think planning and timing, it's very important.
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with vineyards.
Yeah, and there's certain times that certain stuff need to be done, and if you out of that period, then you've
missed the boat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I say, some guys is really not on it. But I mean, there you get a lot of good farmers, but then you can have that odd ones
that's not planning and paying attention.
And you know what's my problem?
What's that?
It's when that guys come to you because they can't plan,
so they make
and then
you plan.
and they come to you. You must come help now, and now you must come and do miracles.
Pick up the pieces.
I mean, I can't do miracles. I can only do what I plan, and so otherwise it mix up my planning on other farms also.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know what? That's my game and that's my business. So I always try to help out. And
for sure.
End of the day, it's money in your pocket. So
yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, so.
It's a brilliant life lesson to actually bring to the table here. I think there's a lot of people that would really enjoy to hear that, and that planning and attention to detail is so important, especially in your industry. It's amazing. Yeah, and I believe you have a child. You have a kiddo.
Yeah. I had a little baby.
Yes.
She's 13.
Oh,
so
amazing.
She's still my baby.
Still a baby. She'll always be your little baby.
Yeah, especially if she wants something. Say, Dad, can you buy this for your baby, please? Then they're always
she knows how to work the heartstrings.
They're pulling you around the finger.
Oh yes, definitely.
Especially when it's girls. So,
yes, they know how to work you.
Yeah.
Would you love to see her land up in the viticultural or the wine industry at some point? Or do you think you're happy to let her? Well, not happy. She's going to go and do her own thing.
Jim, I think she actually told me at one stage that, you know what, Dad, if I grew up, I want to be like you. I want to be a viticulturist. I want to take over your business. But you know what, that's easily said.
Oh yes, for
sure. And once they get to a certain age, then they're doing their own thing, and the world is great out there. So they always have new plans and see what others, then they opt for something else. So
for sure. That's amazing. Well, good luck to her. Good luck to
thanks,
her.
man.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And just to end off, give us a personal story with you and the Old Vine project and your viticultural career.
Like I've told you, Jim, my personal love of the Old Vine project starts actually way back. Like I told you, when Eben approaches me to
come and work with them.
to work in that Mrs. Kirsten vineyard. I mean, it's such an old vineyard.
Oh, yes.
And like I say, for me, it was a big honor for him to come and ask me to do that vineyard for him. And I think that was a big one for me.
A standpoint. Nice. Oh, that's amazing. So Sheldon, tell me, what's the oldest vineyard that you're working on at the moment?
Jim, the oldest one I'm doing at the moment is in Franschhoek. It's a 120-year-old Semio block.
120 years old.
Yeah, and actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it went into a wine that Gottfried made.
Oh, really?
Gottfried from Buchenitz-Kloof.
Yeah.
And I think he got a 99,
okay.
96 or 99 on the Tim Atkin award with that specific wine. So I think it's
brilliant.
Amazing if you look at how old it is and you can still make that quality. I mean, it's
wow. Yeah. And working with it, is it an easy vineyard to work with at its age?
I think old vines is very fragile. I think it's like old people. You must treat it carefully. You must handle it with care. So but I think we manage it quite well now. And I think the crop that it's still given,
it's brilliant.
Wow, it's outstanding. And even just talking about the crop now. I did an old vineyard that some guys asked me to prune last year, and they normally get around about 3 tons
per hectare.
Sure. And we prune it so well and manage it so well during the season. He actually doubled the quality just by pruning right and sucker at the right time and looking after it. Yeah, I mean I think if you know what you do, you can
implement it well.
Yeah, and you can not only that, but I think you can expand the lifespan of the vineyards.
Oh, for sure.
it was just pruning right and do the right things at the right time. Yeah.
Amazing.
So if you know what you do, then definitely I think
gonna
there's
get
definitely
the rewards.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So Sheldon, young viticulturist coming into the wine industry and being a part of this massive machine of the South African winelands, do you have any advice for these youngsters in your industry?
Jim, I think young guys always come in with new ideas. I mean, it's good to come in with new ideas and new techniques and stuff. But I think for me, I don't know if I'm old school or what, but I think for me, I just stick to the basics, stick to the stuff that you know, stick to the stuff that work, and I think
you'll reap the rewards.
Yeah, because otherwise you come and, I mean, the wheel has already been designed. Now you come and you want to come and redesign the wheel, and sometimes you mess it up totally.
Completely, yeah.
So I think you should just stick to the guns and
stick to the basics.
Stick to the basics, yeah.
I think that's sound advice for most things in life, you know. Don't overcomplicate things, stick to the basics.
Sometimes you overcomplicate stuff for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
No need to.
No need to.
Like I said, the wheel's already been designed. So.
Yeah, 100%. Alrighty, Sheldon. So tell me, the viticultural machine, it's a big industry. I'm sure there's some unsung heroes, something that, needs some light shone on it. Is there anything that you'd like to make mention of?
Jim, I think definitely. And I think the credit must go out to all the guys out there in the field. I mean, if you look at guys that going out early in the morning to harvest, I mean, if I look at we harvest in Tulbach, you go out in the morning at 4 o'clock. You on with early. Like a koplichter, you call it koplichter.
Headlights.
Headlights, yeah. And you had to harvest with that.
Oh, that's early and dark.
I mean, and in summer, in that heat, if the grapes need to come off, then you have to come off. And then you have to put all extra in, and you must do your thing. Oof. And also in winter, especially now, pruning. If you look at last week, all the rain and all that floods and stuff, the people must go out in the morning early. So definitely, I think for the workers out there, I think they're the heroes of the
industry.
Of the industry, that's right, yeah.
Amazing, Sheldon. Yeah. Well, thank you for mentioning them. I do think that they do go unsung sometimes, so that's brilliant. Sheldon, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. You're a superstar. Your English is amazing.
Oh, come on, man.
Cheers, dude. Thank you so much for joining us. You're a superstar.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thank you. All right.